Hey guys, it's Ellen, and today I'm going to be sharing with you both my January wrap-up and my February TBR. The first book that I finished in January was Cress by Marissa and Meyer, and this is the third book in the Lunar Chronicles series. This one was really interesting. The story definitely got more intense. A lot more characters have been added, and so there's a lot of different things going on in this installment. I have to say, I think this one is my favorite one so far, and I think the first one's my second favorite. But I tend to have that with series. I tend to not love the middle book in the series, and I tend to love the last one and the first one. So we'll see how I feel about Winter, but I'm definitely excited to get into that one. Next up, I listened to an audiobook, and that one was Finding Audrey by Sophie Kinsella, and I absolutely love this one so much. I would not even want to get out of my car when I got to work because I just wanted to listen to this audiobook so much. I found it so relatable, and just the character of Audrey, she has really, really bad anxiety, but I found that it's very realistic the way that it was portrayed. And yeah, I just found the advice given to her was very relevant. Ever since reading this, I've been really excited about reading more of Sophie Kinsella's books. I actually just got one. What's it called? I just got her book, 20s Girl. I'm really excited to read this one because I absolutely love this, and I think that her writing style is really, really interesting, very captivating, and just like very easy to listen to. Another bonus about this audiobook is that the narrator is British, and this whole book is like a very British written book. There's different language and like anecdotes that are sort of, I find very English, and so that was really cool hearing it being told in a British accent. So yeah, I gave this one a 5 out of 5 stars. Next up, I read Another Day by David Levithan, and I'm obsessed with the first novel in this kind of companion series, Every Day. I gave that one a 5 out of 5 stars, and it was probably my absolute favorite book of last year. This book is basically the same story, but it's told from a different character's perspective. It's told from Rhiannon's perspective. I enjoyed reading this one. I gave it a 3 out of 5 stars. I didn't feel like it added that much to the story. Like, I liked to hear what Rhiannon had to say, and there were some points that were interesting, but for the most part, I didn't feel it was very necessary. One of the things that I loved about Every Day is that you get the perspective of who is in these different bodies every single day, and you don't have this in this story, and she's basically just talking a lot about her and Justin and what she's going to do about that situation, which I'm not as interested in. So I was happy to be back in this world because I think it's very interesting, but I didn't feel like this was that interesting as an addition to the story. So next up, I read The Opposite of Loneliness, and this is by Marina Keegan. This is a collection of short stories and essays written by this woman she was 22, I believe, when she wrote these stories, or a collection of what she wrote up until she was 22 when she was tragically killed in a car accident. One of her professors collected some of her works in this book, and I just can't believe how well she writes for being so young. Even though a lot of her stories are really short, I think they capture sort of the human condition, which sounds so broad, but they're so insightful and just beautifully written. So I love this book. I gave this one a 5 out of 5 stars. The last book that I finished in January was called The Expatriates, and this is by Janice Y.K. This one really took me by surprise. I really, really enjoyed this one. I have an art copy here. It came out on the 12th of January. And this one is about individuals who leave the United States and move to Hong Kong. And apparently this is a phenomenon that I really didn't know anything about, so it was very interesting to read about. It's sort of about their community that they form in Hong Kong and how it's sort of exclusive and doesn't really integrate into the society. It's very separate and Americanized. This story is told from multiple different perspectives, and the stories all combine. I just found a lot of the points made in here are very poignant, and the perspective that the author has on this issue it's very realistic to her. She's from Hong Kong. Yeah, this just gave me a really interesting perspective on the Americanization of Hong Kong, and I really didn't realize that that was an issue, so I'm really happy that I was informed, and the story was also very engrossing and interesting. I gave this one a 4.5 out of 5 stars. Since I didn't read that many books in January, I am going to include my February TBR in this video just to make it a little bit easier. So the book that I have started already is A Great and Terrible Beauty by Libba Bray. I'm only about 25 pages in, but this one definitely has intrigued me. It's been sitting on my shelf for a while, and I finally just had an urge to read it. So I believe this is about a girl who has powers that she discovers, and she's sort of unearthing her mother's connection to this shadowy sort of group. It just seems sort of dark and interesting and fantastical, and I'm really looking forward to finishing this one up and just seeing what this story has to offer. Next up, I have a contemporary book, and this one is Simon versus the Homo Sapiens Agenda. I was planning on reading this one last month since I got it from the library, but I think I'm going to renew it and read it this month because it's just going to be a nice, interesting contemporary, sort of lighthearted but also hard-hitting, and that's really what I'm looking for in this, so I'm hoping that's what it delivers. Since I'm not sure what else I want to read this month, I am going to be picking from my handy-dandy little mug right here. I'm going to pick 2 more books. I think 4 books is about what I'll be able to do this month. Okay, this is the one. Alright, let's see. What does it say? Room by Emma Donohue. Okay, great. Where are you? So apparently I will be reading Room by Emma Donohue, which is actually really exciting because this one just came out as a movie and I've been wanting to see it. So that's really great. Let's see what else I pick from here. The next book is this one. A Clockwork Orange by Anthony Burgess. That's actually funny because I was planning on reading this one in the month of October because it was supposed to be like a Halloween kind of read, and I never got around to it. So apparently the universe really wants me to read this book. And I have it right here. So this is going to be on my TBR for February. Looks like a very interesting collection of books in February, and I'm excited to get to these. This will be fun. Alright guys, so that is everything for my January wrap-up and my February TBR. I hope you enjoyed this video. Let me know what you read in January and what you're planning to read in February. I'd love to hear about it. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in my next one. Bye!